And in this video, we need to talk about INJECTIVE. This is a token which has over 60% increases in the last 2 weeks. It is now sitting at a market cap of $2.5 billion, just shy of the top 30. Is this a project that can 20x, 30x, maybe even 40x from here? I'm going to be sharing my research and my opinion on where this project can go. As you guys know, the marketplace has been really excited to do with anything around the Cosmos ecosystem. In this video, we're going to focus on INJECTIVE. Of course, also Celestia, which I've made a breakdown video on, is up 42% over the last 7 days. Go watch that video here as well. In this video, I'm going to break down whether this project INJECTIVE, a layer 1 scaling solution, has the room to continue to increase from here. The price this week has already hit a high of $34, and it's now, as you can see, in clear price discovery. And this is one of the things that are really exciting about the crypto market. Yes, we can hold projects which we've held before and we know that they can return back to all-time highs, but you also want projects in your portfolio that are in price discovery, that we don't know where the ceiling is on these projects and where they could be heading. So I'm going to break down what is realistic here for INJECTIVE and also do some TA as well. If you appreciate that, smash up the likes. Do not forget to subscribe. If you want to pick some beautiful trades like INJECTIVE, we've traded it multiple times as well. IJazCrypto.com/TG is our trading community. I hope to see a bunch of you guys in there for the extra alpha. Now, let's start off with the basics, right? What is this project? Because if we don't understand what this project is, we're not going to know whether we're going to want to hold it. We're not going to know if we have conviction in this project. So let's do some fundamental analysis before we jump on over to our technical analysis as well. INJECTIVE is a blockchain specifically designed for finance. It's an interoperable, I know these are buzzwords, but we'll break them down, an environmentally friendly layer 1 blockchain that supports advanced DeFi, including crypto trading dApps like spot and derivative exchanges and lending protocols. Okay, let me explain. Let me translate for you guys. INJECTIVE is basically, guys, it's a platform that's trying to disrupt the traditional finance markets, right? In the traditional finance markets, what do you have? You have exchanges, you have brokers, you have banks, you have lending providers, you have all these things, right? And that's exactly what INJECTIVE is doing. It's being the base layer, right? It's going to be the platform, the infrastructure layer that other people can go, hey, I want to build a Web3 bank. I want to build a Web3 trading platform. I want to build a Web3 exchange or a broker, right? And you can go ahead and build that, right? Yeah, that's all they're saying they're going to do. Now, what's interesting is this is built with the Cosmos SDK. And the reason that's particularly interesting over the last week or so is the Cosmos narrative has been hitting a serious pump. Now, it's important to understand, what is the Cosmos narrative? This is a concept, Atom Cosmos, the ecosystem. I've made numerous videos about this over the last couple of years. You can search the channel and find those. I'll try to link up some of them for you as well. But in essence, Cosmos is an interoperability play. What is interoperability, I hear you say? Interoperability is this very simple notion that, look, if you have many different blockchains, you have the Cardano ecosystem over there, you have the Solana ecosystem over there, you have Ethereum over there and Phantom over there. That's all good and proper. But if they cannot speak to each other on the same narrative, on the same language or whatever the bandwidth is that they're speaking on, then it's all pointless, right? You can have it, they're all going to be siloed and there's not going to be any connectivity. It's like me saying you're using a Visa PayNet, but you can only speak with other Visa platforms and all the American Express are stuck over there, and there's, it wouldn't be practical to work like that. So interoperability is a very important narrative which many projects have claimed to solve, but one of the most credible attempts at this has been Cosmos, and in particularly with the IBC protocol that they're trying to build and have been building, and that's what INJECTIVE is built on. It's built on the Cosmos IBC. Now, what that allows it to do, this IBC, which I'm going to very briefly touch upon, is it means anybody else who's programmed with the IBC and is working with the IBC, you're now interoperable. Right? So if somebody builds a blockchain using IBC here and somebody else builds one, they immediately can speak to each other. They have the same language, and they're now interoperable with each other. Great. So we understand that. A few of the important bits we need to understand is that the INJ token, the INJ token, which we're talking about and doing the technical analysis on, is just the utility token, right? Just like you'd have the Phantom utility token or the Cardano utility token or the Ethereum utility token, it is used to secure the network through proof of stake. And this is nothing novel novel, right? We know about proof of stake. It's been around for a while now. All the major blockchains are using proof of stake. It's deemed as environmentally friendly compared to proof of work, although Casper and Cadena fans will say, no, we've also figured out environmentally friendly ways to proof of stake as well. So that's where we're sitting here, and we know that there's an important burn mechanism. Now, we will come onto the tokenomics, because the tokenomics of any project is very, very important when you're trying to understand, can it 10x, can it 20x? So we're definitely going to come onto that shortly, but let's take a look here. Circulating supply is 83,000 of 83 million, of 100 million in total supply, okay? So you can see that the fully diluted market cap is not too shabby. It's expensive. 3 billion is expensive, right? 2.5 in market cap, 3 billion fully diluted. We're going to come on to whether I think that can grow, but that's where we're sitting right now, just shy of the top 30 here for Injective. So we know that they're proof of stake. We know that they've got instant transaction finality, right? We know that they've got a theoretical transactions per second of 10,000. That's really good. And this now comes as standard, right? If you're working on any blockchain right now here in the end of 2023, heading into 2024, and they don't have good transactions per second, don't have instant transaction finality and cheap fees, we have a problem. The only ones which should be slow and a bit expensive are the ones which are moving really, really early, right? The early days of Ethereum. But even now, Ethereum with ETH 2.0, you're seeing a lot of these things start to become very commonplace now with blockchain. So I'd be worried if it wasn't fast and didn't have good throughput with it. They've got smart contract capability, which is great. They've got the API, which is set up fine. This is what we were speaking about in terms of interoperability, right? So they've got IBC and they've got common bridges, which they use as well. Now, important note, I will share this anytime, I see the activity around bridges. Remember, bridges are an attack vector, right? So I know, for example, they're compatible with the wormhole bridge. The wormhole bridge has been attacked a few times, if I recall correctly, right? It is an attack vector for fraudulent activity to take place. So it's a risk factor you'd have to put into your project if you're investing in it as well. So that's what we're seeing here in terms of what is Injective. And so the question now arises, how big can this get, right? If I'm investing in this now, it's called a pump, it's already up 60%, and I'm getting some FOMO and I want to buy in. You guys know first and foremost that on this channel, we don't chase green candles, right? You don't chase these crazy green candles. So I'll show you where you'll be looking for some of those pullbacks. But before that, where can it go? I mean, we're sitting here at 2.5 billion at around that $30 mark here. But where can it realistically go? Well, we've got to take a look. Let's say, for example, for argument's sake, you are going to compare it to Solana's current market cap. Remember, we're still in the early signs of getting into our next bull run. Where do we think Injective could go? Well, if it could reach Solana's today market cap, that represents a 12x, and you would see a $365 Injective, which is very, very interesting. Let's say you're now going to Solana's all-time high. Let's say just Solana goes to its all-time high and surpasses it in this next bull run, right? Let's say Solana goes and creates new all-time highs, Bitcoin's going crazy, Ethereum's going crazy. Could Injective get to Solana's previous bull market high? That would represent a 30x here, okay? A 30x here and a $910 Injective. Now, it's very important to understand when you're kind of using this as your best case scenario, you need to understand that these are not easy outcomes, right? They are very viable outcomes. Yes, you can make an argument for them, but a lot of things would have to go right for these situations to play out, right? The project has to deliver, they have to not get hacked, the team has to stay together, they have to deliver on all their promises, people have to go and use the blockchain, we have to see usability go up and activity on the network go up and more projects being built. We need to see that, right? So currently they're already boasting a decent community, right? They've got 350,000 community members globally. I always find that number a bit wishy-washy, right? Like what is that? Is that Twitter followers? Is that Discord followers? Like, it's hard to gauge, but okay. 100 projects in the ecosystem. Okay, early days, right? We'll come on to, let's see how much activity is going on there shortly. And it's backed by Web3 innovators like Binance, Pantera, Jump Crypto, and Mark Cuban. And again, guys, we've seen this all before, right? We saw this all with FTX. We saw this with various other Alameda-backed projects as well. I always take this stuff with a pinch of salt, right? Yes, it's nice to go on their website and see that they've got the logos. Oh, look, we're backed by Binance and Pantera and Jump Crypto and Mark Cuban. Yeah, that's so cool. But you kind of want to make sure that there's substance behind it, right? Because anybody can get these logos on their website and it looks fantastic, gives them a bunch of credibility, but we've seen many projects collapse to the downside or be fraudulent, in fact, even with being backed by the best. So it's not like being backed by the best is the be all or end all. It shouldn't make you suddenly feel like the project is fantastic just because Mark Cuban's put a couple of bucks in it. That's not how investing works, okay? So that's where it's at. Now, let's be a bit more, let's say we're being a bit more realistic, right? Let's say we just want to get to somewhere like an Avalanche size. What happens if we get to Avalanche's market cap now? Well, if you want to get to Avalanche's market cap, as you can see, that would require about a 6x from here on Injective, which gets you to $178. Not too bad a risk to return. And again, this is something you can argue for, right? It's not like Avalanche is a crazy powerful project that's always, in the community's attention. It's a good solid project with amazing tech. They probably need to do a bunch of work on their marketing, but Injective seems to be doing a good job with its community. There's a strong community around Injective who back it, who believe in it, and want to see it do well. And we've got to see, does that translate to dApp developers, right? It's one thing having a community of people who want the price of a token to go up, but is there a community of people who are using the blockchain, who are connecting their wallet, who are using dApps, who are building dApps, right? And creating an actual fully fledged ecosystem, which, to be honest, the main ones creating those types of ecosystems right now are Ethereum and probably Solana, right? Those are the ones where you're actively seeing really strong developer communities and use cases and they're far ahead of the others, right? That's just clear of where we're at. So that's a 6x. Now, if you wanted to get to Avalanche's all-time high from the previous cycle, and again, remember, everybody's expecting this next bull run, this next crypto bull run with the introduction of a spot ETF to lead so much money coming into crypto, much bigger flows of money coming into total market cap, Bitcoin hitting all-time highs, Ethereum hitting all-time highs. You probably suspect that Avalanche would break past its all-time high. So if you're making the argument that Injective could go to Avalanche's previous all-time high, that is close to a 12x here on Injective to get to that market cap, and it will give you a $353 price on your Injective token. Okay, so we've got a bit of a realistic one. I gave you the middle one in terms of Solana. Let's go for a bit more of a moon one, right? Let's go for a little bit, let's just go for something a bit more ambitious. And let's say, what if we could get to the size of Ethereum? So in order to get to Ethereum size, this is where things get really interesting. Just to get to Ethereum's current market cap, you are talking 100x from here, right? We're talking Ethereum sitting at 250 billion thereabouts in market cap. Injective sat at $2.5 billion in market cap. To just get to ETH's market cap today, and remember, a lot of people expecting ETH to get to $10,000, $20,000 per token, increasing its market cap over $1 trillion in market cap in the next bull run. Your argument here is, can Injective get to a quarter of that size of Ethereum in the next bull cycle? And that would give you 100x from where we're at now, at a 3,000 price target here for Injective. So there you go, guys. Those are the different price targets that you can look to kind of price out and model. Of course, you like, if you guys have watched my previous videos, the way I model out any DCAs I'm doing is in a good, better, best kind of situation. Then I have a moon case as well. So I've mapped that all out on a spreadsheet, and I show you guys how I feel. If you guys want to see me do that for Injective specifically, then let me know in the comments. Type model down below in caps lock, and if enough of you ask for that, I will do a separate breakdown with my spreadsheet modeling exact price projections I see here for Injective. Now, if we're looking at the price action here on the weekly chart, you guys know for certain I am not chasing green candles on this project. I would not be buying it up here. I'm looking for pullbacks, right? Now, maybe you won't get a pullback into the EMA ribbon on the weekly time frame. $14, right? Is it going to drop 50% here over the next week? Unlikely. But at least if you're looking to chase this and you're getting some FOMO, wait for daily EMA ribbon, right? Wait for that daily level to get some support. You got a bit of support which starts to come in at around that 19 level. Will it come down to the EMA ribbon at 23? Those are levels where it becomes a bit more juicy. I certainly don't want to be getting in the habit of buying up here at $34 at the peak. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you appreciate this type of breakdown on some of your favorite altcoins, smash up likes. Do not forget to subscribe. Hopefully I see a bunch of you in our trading community, ijazcrypto.com/TG. Link will be in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.